anyway, sorry for not posting at all last week. I had Prison with Amy going on. Like, I had a school field trip last week, and it lasted like a few days, like 2 days, but I left early because it originally lasted like 3 days, and I haven't done this in like it felt like forever. But this is the Bible that I'm reading, just so that you all know. And this time we're reading Bible pages 22 to 24 because I only read 3 pages out of the Bible every day. Plus, I'm thinking about like changing my post schedule a little bit to focus on real life more too. And I might not be able to post tomorrow, just depends, because I got an appointment tomorrow. Anyways. Oh yeah, by the way, I am a slow reader. Oh, I forgot my water. I think it's at the side of my bed. I'll have to check in a second, but I do read slowly, and I do sometimes pause for a second because sometimes my jaw ends up hurting. And I'm gonna quickly check and see if I have any water at the side of my bed. No, I don't. Um, well, this time I'm gonna have to go without water. Unless I can get one of my siblings to get it. 22 to 23. Well, not 23. 22 to 24 is what I meant. Anyways. Ignore the background noises like people talking in the background, dogs barking in the background, and stuff like that, because the dogs is more likely our neighbor's dogs or our dogs. And the people in the background is more likely my family. Plus, I do have a guest over right now, so. Oh, hey, person who just now joined. Well, I actually don't know when you joined. Anyways, I'll get started. Then Judah said to Israel, his father, "Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and you, and also our little ones. I myself will be surety for him. From my hand you shall require him, if I do not bring him back to you, and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. Also, if y'all need me to talk louder, please let me know, because I will talk louder if y'all need me to. Because I haven't done this for like a week or two. I don't know how much vlogs I did like the week before last week, so. Anyways. I think my voice is going weird. I don't know. Anyways. But for if we had not lingered, surely by now we would have returned the second time. And their father Israel said to them, If it must be so, then do this. Take some of the best fruits of the land in your vessels, and carry down a present for the men, a little balm and a little honey, spices, and myrrh, I think it's how you pronounce it. Pistachio, I think. Pistachio nuts and almonds. Take double money in your hand, and take back in your hand the money that was returned in your mouth of your sacks, and perhaps back to the man. And may God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release your other brother and Benjamin, if I have bereaved, I think. I am bereaved. So the men took that present of Benjamin, and they took double money in their hand, and arose and went down to Egypt. And they stood before Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, take these men to my home and slaughter an animal and make these men to my. Wait, no, I read that line. I'm sorry. Ready for these men will dine with me at noon. Then the men, then the man did as Joseph ordered, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And now the men, hello, for some reason, like it shows that 0 people is. Oh wait, it just now showed that how much people is watching. For a second, it showed that 0 people was watching. Sometimes YouTube glitches out or something. Anyways, were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house, and they said, "It is because of the money which was returned in our sacks the first time that we are brought in, so that he may make a case against us and seize us to take us as slaves with our donkeys." When they drew near to stand steward, I
Oh, we finally figured it out. It was actually me who figured it out, actually. It was so hard. But I'm a big boy.
oh yeah, you might want to close the door behind you two people on.
Hello!
You can stay in if you want. I'm still on page 22. Anyways, that is my cousin, the guest that is here. You want
Ah!
in? You want in?
No.
I'm ugly. No, you're not.
Yeah!
No, no one's ugly.
But anyways, on that temple game, see, you know how that thing goes, or maybe you don't, but it spins around, or whatever, and I finally figured it out. You gotta spin it around, then you gotta cut the rope, and then you gotta grapple the rope, put it on the other rope, and then you gotta pull the cart up, and then go, big brain.
Wait, doesn't rats get you sick? Someone asked me if I like rats.
Jazz, they mean, do you like rats, like, as a pet, or whatever?
If I'm gonna be honest, I do not like rats. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. Anyways, Joseph's house, they talked with him at the door of the house and said, "Oh, sir, we indeed came down the first time to buy food. But it happened when we came to the encampment that we opened our sacks, and there each man's money was in the mouth of our hand. And we have brought down other money in our hands to buy food. We do not know who put our money in our sacks, but he said, 'Peace be with you. Do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money.'" Wait, what? What?
In no part did I hear they captured kids. Anyway, who's capturing you?
Then he brought Simon out to them. So the men brought the men into Joseph's house and gave them water. And they washed their feet, and he gave their donkeys feed. Then they made the present ready for Joseph's coming at noon, for they heard that they would eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed down before him to the earth. Then he asked them about their well-being, and said, "Is your father well? The old man of whom you spoke, is he still alive?" And they answered, "Your servant our father is in good health. He is still alive. And they bowed their heads down and prostrated themselves.
Bye bye.
That was my sister coming again to get my cousin to go to her for a second. Then he lifted his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, "Is this your younger brother of whom you spoke to me?" And he said, "God be gracious to you, my son." Now his heart yearned for his brother. So Joseph made haste and sought somewhere to weep, and he went into his chamber and wept there. Then he washed his face and came out and restrained himself and said, "Serve the bread." So they set him a place by himself, and them by themselves, them by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat food with Hebrews, for that is an abomination to Egyptians, and they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. The men looked in astonishment, I think it is, at one another. Then he took servings to them for before them, but Benjamin's serving was 5 times as much as any of theirs, so they drank and were merry with him. And he commanded that the steward of his house, saying, "Fill the men's sacks with the food, as much as they can carry, and put each man's money in the mouth of his sack. Also put my cup and silver cup in the mouth of the sack of the youngest, and his grain money." So he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken as soon as the morning. Anyways, that is half of page 22. Dawned. The men were sent away, they and their donkeys, when they had gone out of the city and were not far yet, yet far off. Joseph said to his steward, "Get up, follow the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, 'Why have you repaid evil for good?'" And this, not is not this the one from which my lord drinks, and with which he indeed practices divination, I think. I can't really pronounce that, I'm sorry. You have done evil in so doing. So he took over them and spoke to them these same words, and they said to him, "Why does my lord say these words? Far be it from..." Wait, what? Oh my god. "Far be it from us that your servants should do such a thing. Look, we brought back to you from the land of Canaan the money which we found in the mouth of our sacks. How then could we steal silver or gold from your lord's house? With whomever of your servants it is found, let him die, and we also will be my lord's slaves." And he said, "Now also let it be according to your words. He with whom it is shall it is found shall be my slave, and you shall be blameless." Then each man speedily let down his sack to the ground, and each opened his sack. So he searched the he searched. So he searched. He began with the oldest and left off with the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they tore their clothes, and each man loaded his donkey and returned to the city. So Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, and he was still there. And they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said to them, "What deed is this that you have done? Did you not know what? Did you not know that such a man as I can certainly practice divination?" Then Judah said, "What shall we say to my lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? God has found out the iniquity of your servants. Here we are, my lord's slaves. Both we and he also with whom the cup was found." But he said, "Far it be from me that I should do so. The man in whose hand the cup was found, he shall be my slave. And as for you, go up in the peace to your father." Well, go up in peace to your father. Sorry, I didn't really read it right. Anyways. Then Judah came near to him and said, "Oh, my lord, please let your servant speak a word in my lord's hearing, and do not let your anger burn against your servant, for you are even like Peroah. My lord asked his servants, for you are even like Peroah." Oh wait, I'm sorry, I read the same thing. My lord asked his servant, saying, "Have you a father or a brother?" And he said to my lord, "Who is young, his brother is dead." Oh my god. My internet's going in and out. I don't know if I'll be able to really finish this or not. I'll try my best to at least finish most of it, though. Oh, I lost where I was at. I'll stop that. Wait, what? Actually, I think so. Guys, if this live ends out of nowhere or something, please know that it's probably my internet. Because it stormed or something last night. Well, yesterday actually. So yeah, my internet might go out. But I'll try to start another live if it does. But we're almost done with page 22. And he alone is left of his mother's children, and his father loves him. Then you said to your servants, "Bring him down to me, that I may set my eyes on him." And we said to my lord, "Though I cannot leave his father for if he should leave his father would die. But if you said to your servants, but you said to your servants, unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you shall see my face no more." So it was when we went up to your servant, my father, that we told him the words of my lord, and our father said, "Go back and buy us a little food." But we said, "We cannot go down. If our youngest brother is with us, then we will go down. But, not that. For we may not see the man's face unless our youngest brother is with us." Then your servant, my father, said to us, "You know that my wife bore us 2 sons, and the one went out from me." And I said, "Surely he is torn to pieces, and I have not seen him since. But if you take this one also from me, and calamity, I think, befalls him, you shall bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. Now therefore, when I come to your servant, my father, and the lad is not with us, since his life is bound up with the lad's life, it will happen when he sees that the light is not with us, so that he will die. So your servants will bring down the gray hair of your servant our father with sorrow to the grave. For your servant became surety for the lad to my father, saying, If I do not bring him back to you, then I shall bear the blame before my father forever. Uh, I think the father will die. Plus, if you hear my voice like going weird, then I don't know. Um, I don't know if it's like where I've been reading a lot or something, but my voice I think is going a little weird. Now therefore, please let your servant remain instead of the lad as a slave to my lord, and let the lad go up with his brothers. For how shall I go up to my father if the lad is not with me? Least perhaps I see the evil that would come upon my father. Then Joseph could not restrain himself before all those who stood by him, and he cried out, Make everyone go out from me. So no one stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard it. Oh. Oh yeah, by the way, we're going on to page 23, and if my live just randomly quits, I'll start another one because my internet tried to go out or something like a minute ago. So yeah. I'm probably gonna go get water, but then again, that would probably take forever. Anyways, plus I do have only two more pages. I got that one and another one. Page 23 and 24. Anyways, then Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Does my father still live? But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed in his presence. And Joseph said to his brothers, Please come near to me. So they came near. Then he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. But now do not therefore be grieved or angry with yourself, because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years, the famine, I think, has been in the land, and there are still 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvesting. And God sent me before you to preserve a posterity, I think, for you in the earth, and you who sent me here, but God, and he has made me a father to Pharaoh and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Hurry and go up to my father and say to him, Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me, do not tarry. You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near me, you and your children, and your children's children, your flocks and your herds, and all that you have. There I will provide for you, lest you and your household and all that you have come to poverty. For there are still 5 years of famine. And behold, your eyes and the eyes of your family, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, I think it is, see that it is my mouth that speaks to you. So you shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that you have, and all that you have seen. My bad. And you shall hurry, and bring my father down here. Then he fell on his brother Benjamin's neck, and wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brothers and wept over them, and And after that, his brothers talked with him. Now the report of it was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brothers have come. So it pleased Pharaoh and his servants well. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, say to your brothers, do this. Load your animals and depart. Go to the land of Canaan and bring your father and your households and come to me. I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you will eat the fat of the land. Now you are commanded to do this. Take carts out of the land of Egypt for your little ones and your wives. Bring your father and come. Also, do not be concerned about your goods, for the best of all the land of Egypt is yours. Then the sons of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them carts according to the command of Pharaoh, and he gave them provisions for the journey. But he gave to all of them, to each man changes the garments. But to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of garments. And he sent to his father these things: 10 donkeys loaded.
I'm so sorry for the accident.
It's okay.
I drank a little bit of pop earlier and I just walked in.
Oh yeah, don't
Only one person saw it. Why the other person?
forget to close the door.
Oh no.
Anyways, I'm sorry about with the good things of Egypt and 10 female donkeys loaded with
Bye bye. Is that your mom?
huh?
Is that your mom on the live?
No.
Oh. They thought it was funny. Give you a little bit of entertainment. Why'd the other person leave though?
I think they was probably busy or something.
Whoops.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry about that. Close the door.
Me over here. It sounded like I'm dying. I sounded like a horse. I said.
Anyway, with grain, bread, and food for his father. Calm down, okay? You're okay. You're okay.
I'm gonna leave you alone, Jasmine. Bye.
You're fine, don't worry. For the journey, so he sent his brothers away and departed. And so he said I'm sorry about the disturbance. That was my sibling and my cousin. Anyways, he sent his brothers away. And they departed. And he said to them, see that you do not become troubled along the way. Then they went up out of Egypt and came to the land of Canaan to Jacob their father, and they told him, saying, Joseph is still alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart stood still because he did not believe them. But when they told him all the words which Joseph had said to them, and when he saw the carts which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob their father revived. I think it's revived. Then Israel said, It is enough. Joseph, my son, is still alive. I will go and see him before I die. So Israel took his journey with all that he had and came to Beersheba and offered sacrifices to God of his to the God of his father Isaac. Then God spoke to Israel in the visions of the night and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here I am. So he said, I am God, the God of your father. Do not fear to go down to Egypt, for I will make you a great nation there. I will go down with you to Egypt, and I will also surely bring you up again. And Joseph will put his hands on your eyes. Then Jacob arose from Beersheba and the sons of Israel. We are now halfway through. Anyway, by the way, let me know if you want my cousin to come in here and we can just talk for a little bit if you want. Plus, it'll probably be chaotic. I don't know. But it'll probably be chaotic. Plus, I don't know if my sister would come, but anyways, carried their father Jacob, their little ones, and their wives in the cart which Pharaoh had sent to them, had sent to carry him. So they took their livestock and their goods, which they had acquired in the land of Canaan, and went to Egypt. Jacob and all their descendants with him. His sons and his son and his son's sons, his daughters brought his son's daughters, and all his descendants he brought to he brought with him to Egypt. Now these were the names of the children of Israel, Jacob and his sons who went to Egypt. Reuben was Jacob's firstborn. The sons of Reuben were Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. The sons of Salmon were Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zoar, and Shoal. The sons of Kenat woman, the sons of a Kenat woman, the sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Yeah, I pronounced it right, I think. The sons of Judah were Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah, but and Onan died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. The sons of Issachar, I think it is, were Tola, Peva actually, Job, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun were Sered. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Elon and Jahalo. I think that's how you pronounce it. These were the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob in Padan Aram with his daughter Dinah. All the persons, his sons and his daughters were 33, and the son of Gad was Ziphon, Hagi, Shani, Isban, Eri, Aradi, and Areli. The sons of Asher were Jimna, Ashua, Izu, Bara, and Sarah, I think it is, their sister, and the sons of Zilpah, whom Ladan gave to Leah, his daughter, and these she bore to Jacob 16 persons. The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, were Joseph and Benjamin. And to Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh, I think it is. Oh, I lost where I am. Oh wait, I found it. And Ephraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potera, priest of On, bore to him. The sons of Benjamin were Bela, Beecher, Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Ehi, Rosh,
Mapim, Hupim, and Ard. These were the sons of Rachel, who were born to Jacob, 14 persons in all. The sons of Dan was Husham. The sons of Naphtali were Jasil, Guni, Jezer, and Shelem. Shelem? One of the two. I'm not really sure. These were the sons. Well, these were the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban. Wait a second. Okay, I'm reading it right. Whom Laban gave to Rachel, his daughter, and she bore these to Jacob. 7 persons in all. All the persons who went with Jacob to Egypt, who came from his body besides Jacob's sons, wives were 66 persons in all. And the sons of Joseph who were born to him in Egypt were 2 persons. All the persons of the house of Jacob who went to Egypt were 70. Then he sent Judah before him to Joseph to point out before him the way to Goshen. And they came to the land of Goshen, so Joseph made ready his chariot, I don't really know, and went up to Goshen to meet his father Israel. Oh, it's okay, don't worry. Have an amazing day or not, though. And he presented himself to him and fell on his neck and wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said to Joseph, "Now let me die, since I have seen your face, because you are still alive." Then Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, "I will go up and tell Pharaoh and say to him, my brothers and those of my father's house who were in the land of Canaan have come to me, and the men are shepherds, for their occupation has been to feed livestock, and they have brought their flocks, their herds, and all that they have, so it shall be." Then Pharaoh calls you and says, "What is your occupation?" That you shall say, "Your servant's occupation has been with livestock from our youth even till now. Both we and also our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination to Egyptians." Then Joseph went and told Pharaoh and said, "My father and my brothers, their flocks and their herds, and all that they possess have come from the land of Canaan. And indeed they are in the land of Goshen." And they took 5 men among his brothers and presented them to Pharaoh. Then Pharaoh said to his brothers, "What is your occupation?" Then they said to Pharaoh, "Your servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers." And they said to Pharaoh, "We have come to dwell in the land because your servants have no pasture, for their flocks for the famine is severe." And anyways, we are going to page 24, the last page. Oh yeah, plus, again, if you hear people talking in the background, please ignore it. Fix up my camera real quick. Anyways, I'm thinking about like taking a small silent break because my jaw, I don't know if it kind of hurts or not. I can't really tell. I'm gonna take like a small silent break. Okay, I think I'm ready. Sorry about that. And sorry about all the disturbance that has happened. Anyways, the land of Canaan, now therefore please let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Then Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, saying, "Your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Have your fathers and your brothers dwell in the best of the land. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen, and if you know any competent men among them, then make them chief herdsmen over my livestock. Then Joseph brought his father Jacob and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to Jacob, "How old are you?" Then Jacob said to Pharaoh, "The days of the years of my pilgrimage, I think it is, are 130 years. Few and evil have been the day of of the years of my life, and they have not attained to the days of the years of the life of my fathers and the days of their pilgrimage, I think." So Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh, and Joseph situated his father and his brothers and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Rameses, I think it is, as Pharaoh had commanded. Then Joseph provided his father, his brothers, and all his father's household with bread, according to the number in their families. Now there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very severe, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan languished or something like that because of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan. For the grain which they bought, Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. So when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money has failed." Then Joseph said, "Give your livestock, and I will give you bread for your livestock." If the money is gone, so they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses, the flocks, cattle of the herds, and for all the donkeys. Thus he fed them with bread in exchange for their livestock that year. When that year had ended, they came to him the next year and said to him, "We will not hide from my lord that our money is gone. My lord also has our herds of livestock. There is nothing left in the sight of my lord but our bodies and our lands. Why should we die before your eyes? Both we and will our servants of Pharaoh give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land may not desolate." My throat kind of hurts. I'm gonna take another small break because my throat hurts. I'll stretch real quick. My back was hurting for a second. Anyway, we're almost on the half of we're almost at the last half of page 24. Then Joseph brought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for every man of the Egyptians sowed his field, because the famine was severe upon them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he moved them into cities from one end of the borders of Egypt to the other end. Only the land of the priest he did not buy, for the priest had rations or something like that. How did Charles. Okay, I found where I am again. Allotted to them by Peroa, and they ate their rations which Peroa gave them. Therefore, Peroa they did not sow their lands. Then Joseph said to the people, "Indeed, I have bought you and your land, and this day for Peroa. Look, there is seed for you, and you shall not sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the harvest that you shall give 1/5 to Peroa, 4/5 shall be your own. A seed for the field and for your food, for those of your households, and as food for your little ones." So they said, "You have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants." And Joseph made it law over the land of Egypt to this day that Pharaoh should have 1/5, except for the land of priests only, which did not become Pharaoh's. So Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions there, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the length of Jacob's life was 147 years. When the time drew near that Israel must die, he called his son Joseph and said to him, "Now if I have found favor in your sight, please put your hand under." Anyways, we are on the second half of page 24. I had to stretch real quick. Anyways, I'm probably gonna take a very small break. My shoulder hurts. Probably because of scoliosis. Anyways, my thought and deal kindly and truthfully with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt, but let me lie with my fathers. You shall carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their burial place. And he said, "I will do as you have said." Then he said, "Swear to me." And he swore to him. So Israel bowed himself on the head of the bed. Now it came to pass after these things that Joseph was told, "Indeed, your father is sick." And he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And Jacob was told, "Look, your son Joseph is coming to you." And Israel strengthened himself and sat up on the bed. Then Jacob said to Joseph, "God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said to me, Behold, I will make you fruitful and multiply you, and I will make of you a multitude of people, and give this land to your descendants after you of an everlasting possession. And now your 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born to you in the land of Egypt before I came to you in Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simon, they shall be mine. Your offspring, whom you beget after them, shall be yours. They will be called by the name of their brothers in their inheritance. But as for me, when I came from Paddan, Rachel died beside me in the land of Canaan on the way. When there was but a little distance to go to Ephrath, and I buried her there on the way to Ephrath. That is Bethel, or something like that. Then Israel saw Joseph's sons and said, "Who are these?" Joseph said to his father, "They are my sons, whom God has given me in this place." And he said, "Please bring them to me, and I will bless them." Now the eyes of Israel were dim with age, so that he could not see. Then Joseph brought them near with him. Then Joseph brought them near him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said to Joseph, I had not thought to see your face, but in fact God has also shown me your offspring." So Joseph brought them from beside his knees, and he down to his bowed down with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim with his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh with his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near him. Then Israel stretched out his hand and laid it on Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and left his hand on Manasseh's head, guiding his hands knowingly for Manasseh, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, "God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has fed me all my life long to this day, the angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads. Let my name be upon them, and let the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of earth." Now, when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. So he took hold of his father's hand and removed it from Ephraim's head and to Manasseh's head. And Joseph said to his father, "Not so, my father, for this one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head." But the father refused. "I know, my son, I know. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great, but truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his descendants shall become a multitude of nations." So he blessed them that day, saying, "By you Israel will bless, saying, may God make you Ephraim and as Manasseh." And thus he sent Ephraim before Manasseh. Then Israel said to Joseph, "Behold, I am dying, but God will be with you and bring you back to the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to you one portion above your brothers, which I took from the hand of Amorite with my sword and my bow." So Jacob called his sons and said, "Gather together, that I may tell you what shall befall in your last days." Anyways, that is actually the last of these pages. I think I lost my. Oh wait, no, I didn't lose it. Anyways, that is actually all of the pages, 22 to 24. And next, I'm gonna read tomorrow if I have time. I don't really know for sure if I'll have time, but if I do get the chance, I don't know how late it will be or not, but if I do get the chance tomorrow, I'll probably be able to post and do a lot. Just depends whenever I get done. So, next, I don't know when, either tomorrow or, Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll be able to read pages 25 through 27. Anyways, I almost said help. That makes no sense. I was about to say, "Hope you all have an amazing day." That makes no sense. I meant, hope you all have an amazing day. Anyways, I hope you all have an amazing day or not.
And I'm glad you all took all the time to watch this live because it is like 50 some minutes already, almost an hour. Anyways, have an amazing day or night, and goodbye.